Everybody to the limit, the cheat is to the limit, everybody come on, foo, guys. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. We're in match 2 of this new, fresh 5v5 season, and I'm up against a patron. That's right, someone who watches my matches and follows them is going to be playing against me. Meet the Dr. Jojo. He has a significantly smaller roster by about 1 million. We're at rank number 270-ish, and it's going to be a tricky one, guys. You can see I have the advantage in mods, and I do have an advantage in relics. Though he has invested a lot more in datacrons, though these numbers are a little bit off because, frankly, I mean, I think he updated to his level 9 a little bit after lock, so not perfectly accurate, but still decent. My defenses that I placed, I placed my Jedi Master Kenobi up front, decided to put Jedi Luke in the back. And then you can see I parceled out my CLS team. Some of it's with my Omicron Akbar squad. Some of it's with that Dash team on the front top. And then I also put Chupio with Sortie in the front. So, a few different squads that we placed there. Kind of fun and interesting and stuff and things, I'm sure. So, here's what my opponent placed against me. He placed Rey and Kenobi on the bottom, along with a good General Skywalker team and Iden. That Kenobi team is like, well, if we can't clear that Kenobi team, then we're probably not in a good situation. Probably gonna lose, in fact. At the top, we have a Darth Revan team. Kind of a throwaway. Well, it's not really a throwaway. It's the full bastard Darth Revan. It's just with Nest in it. There's a, First Order team. There's Dash. All the things. I mean, decent teams. The Mon Mothma team was a little confusing. That one is truly all over the place. I was like, what the actual Jojo? What are you doing to me? Guys, before we start the fighting, just want to remind you, please like, subscribe, comment, help us mount the algorithm. Would really appreciate all the support. In fact, I do appreciate all the support. More support would even be fancier of you, though. So, if you can do it, guys, really appreciate it. Just comment, thumbs up, subscribe, do all the things. I demand it, but I politely do it. Demand it. So, that being said, let's get going. Let's watch some video, shall we? Here we are. So we got to take out this Kenobi team first, and I wanted to save Watt just in case. And that's the tricky part about this. So I knew he was going to put Kenobi down, and I wasn't sure what level or what type of datacron he was going to have, because CG did not deliver on their promise that we'd be able to actually see the datacrons as is. So this one always requires a little explanation, though, guys. So we need to get Armorer her 3rd stack of Beskar ingot, regardless of what happens. And so I do have my Thrawn clocked 21 speed slower, because he gets plus 20 speed from Sith Eternal, and obviously Armor's light side, so she doesn't get that. And then we're taking the Brood Alpha and Sunfac here, so that they're both taunting and tanks. We need to get that 3rd stack of Beskar so that Kenobi can't actually crit. That's the main important thing here, guys. We don't want them to be able to crit him, and hopefully we can survive. So if we get the 3rd Beskar ingot and we can kill Cat, then the thing is, I did take General Skywalker for offense, so I might be able to finish this off if we kill Cat. And we're off to the races here, folks. So you have to put the link onto Kenobi because he's pre-taunting because of Kenobi's stuff, and then Cat goes. We put the link on her. And then, okay, so we have actually 3 stacks of Beskar ingot now, and for some reason I decided I would just add another stack. There wasn't any rhyme or reason to it. I should have just applied it to Sith Eternal immediately. But then I didn't. I just did the armor shred thing to get a third stack like I normally would have to. But now that we have the third, now we're just waiting for Sith Eternal to get his ultimate. That's the main thing. So, and then once we can kill Cat, the power of this squad is not exactly broken, but it's not... it's a, you know, it's a lot weaker. It's a lot less strong. Of course, once Kenobi pops his ult, then they can just attack under protection, and that's pretty brutal. But alright, we got our ultimate, and now we gotta do our big lightning thing. This will kill Cat and Kenobi. Now, the thing I was trying to do here, I was waiting until... So Kenobi eventually is going to put healing immunity on me. See, like that. So the idea being that I'll be able to then link here after that, because it takes 2 turns away. And when that happens, then I'll be able to get rid of it. But then it's on like a 2-turn cooldown. So he just put healing immunity on me again. It was a good thought. I thought it was a good thought anyways, but the reality is we just frickin', I mean, we got a couple turns in a row, right? But yikes, we died, folks. All right, game's over. All right, let's take General Skywalker here and clean up if we can. Seems wise. And the tricky part, okay, so there's no actual turn meter gain here because of Jedi Master Kenobi's kit. So Rex doing form up doesn't actually give turn meter. So I don't know why. I think I did that just so I wouldn't get debuffed, but there's no real debuffs that we can resist here. Like there's not much. Like either I guess Padme could potentially do the undispellable stun, but that's not going to really happen to General Skywalker anyways while he's standing, so I don't really know. We're just waiting, guys, because they generate so many buffs, especially with Padme here, that over time we should be able to just, you know, we get a bunch of damage boost from Kenobi's kit, and I mean... yeah, that's we're just waiting, just biding our time, guys. That's all we're doing, just biding our time. Can do the, okay, so we did the Execute, which triggered his savior move, and now we just gotta kill Snips. You see that we're doing a lot more damage though, because as we're defeating people, as we're killing people, as they're gaining a bunch of buffs, we're also just gaining a huge amount of crit damage. So I mean, this is a pretty smooth... Once Cat is gone from this team, this is such an easy counter. Just one of the easiest. The question now is, like, are we going to be able to... We're going to be able to get max-ish banners. Check that out. Skywalker stood just in time. We got full protection for banners from 2 of them. That was pretty good. Well timed. Well played. And now we're going to use Maul. Because I had dismantled my CLS team to be in various teams, I needed a team to be able to counter General Skywalker. And so, here's the issue though, guys. We didn't get... I didn't bring Jango. I put him on defense. And Jango, like, Sabine is just not as good as Jango. Like, she just doesn't do nearly as much damage. It usually takes, like, 2 hits from Maul to sit down a Relic 9 General Skywalker. This is only a Relic... This is only Relic 8 General Skywalker. So, it's like, can we at least please kill 5s here? Like, just let me kill 5s at least. Please. Okay, thank goodness. And really what I should have done was just do the big hits from Maul here, because now they're standing up. We killed 5s, great. And now, I mean, we're pretty vulnerable, frankly. We only have 3 hits, and... well, now we have 5, so I'm sure we'll survive, right? Obviously. Without Jango, guys, this counter just kind of goes to hell. Just a little bit. Just a little bit to hell. And now, with 5 stacks, we can't even knock Skywalker down. What I need to do, if I want to keep Maul separated from Lord Vader, I need to remod him to be offense, because having a bunch of protection doesn't do anything. Just doesn't do anything. Or maybe I'll just mod him for health, because that'll do something. So, alright, now we have the First Order helping us, a bit, at least. We're going to try the First Order TIE Pilot Squad, and we're trying Huck's lead this time, just to see if we can get a little extra damage. We do extra damage, what, 50% extra damage on basics. So, I mean, they're dropping like flies. This is kind of nice. Not too bad. Not too bad. Of course, General Skywalker now is a beast. He's not getting turn meter unless Hux doesn't have advantage, which he just strangely doesn't have very often. He's like, you know what? I know that all of my rules revolve around advantage, but I kind of just don't want it. I kind of just was thinking advantage wasn't really my thing that much. So First Order TIE Pilot's gone. Red Trooper, if he wasn't Relic 8, would be dead. Barely made it past him. Thank goodness that worked out. So, alright, now we've got Rey. We've got to take out. No rest for the weary. So, what are we going to do here, guys? What should we do? I was thinking about, okay, so what should we do? Should we, if we do the AoE here, then, of course, Rey is going, then we get rid of that, what's it called? Get rid of that Foresight, which forces Holdo to taunt, and then we do get Shock onto Holdo. But here's the thing, guys. Here's one thing that you guys everyone should realize. With 3 Omicrons on Starkiller, like this makes it so much easier with the so the throwing the entire tire thing, that's nice after his ult, I believe. But it makes it so you can't miss or something like, no, that's not it. Oh yeah, it's undispellable healing immunity and stuff. But the other one, guys, the AoE dispels all debuffs here, or sorry, all buffs, which is a pretty big deal. You get rid of all of these, which, you know, Holdo just evaporates. But then also, you get rid of that crit immunity on Rey, and it makes it so you can actually do some pretty decent damage. So, okay, cool. So Rey hasn't even really gone. She did her first turn. Now let's just try to take her out before her ult. And it's easy enough. Because we can crit her, we can just take her out. So Jedi Training Rey. We're good to go. We'll throw the entire tire at her, and let's throw the Star Destroyer of Healing at Hero Finn so that we can get our max-ish banners. General Kenobi is just hanging out there without, he had healing immunity on him, undispellable, so he kind of dragged us down a little bit, but we're good to go. Ish. Good-ish to go. And now Iden is here to be destroyed by Wampa. So the interesting thing about this is a high potency Iden team, and he put a really high potency Datacron on her. But then I just put a high tenacity Datacron onto Wampa, and it was a non-issue. You know, the idea being that if she can stun Wampa initially, that like before he gets to go, then they'll get 2 full turns to be able to hit Wampa while he's stunned, and most Wampas aren't going to live through that. And I agree, like I think that works, but in this case it just didn't pan out. Thank goodness for that, because who knows how the hell to kill Iden. I don't know. I use that joke all the time. No one ever laughs, and I don't blame anyone for it, because it's pretty dumb. But one way or another, we're getting through it. I mean, you know, you can see. There's not much to, like, I fast forward this, I put it at 200 speed because there's literally like no strategy here. You just endure Iden's shenanigans until she's no longer alive to have shenanigans. Okay, so clear that zone. We're in the back zone now. And we have Starkiller in the back. No other Galactic Legends, so we kept 4 on offense. And that means we get to do the live segment right now. So I needed to kill this Starkiller team, and I needed to use Grievous, I thought. But the problem is I don't have BB-8. BB-8's with Sortie. So the idea here is we can still use Nute, and what you really need to have happen is Mara's going to do her AoE debuff thing and put tenacity down on everyone. B2 needs to take a turn right after that. If he doesn't get a turn right after that, then there are a lot of times going to be issues because he needs to not get shocked. And Mara is gaining full 100% turn meter, and her next move is shock. The second B2 gets shocked, it means that he's not going to be a player in the, like, he can't be cleansed unless Magna Guard somehow evades being shocked. And that usually doesn't happen, because Magna Guard can dispel it. But that's the key, is if B2 gets a turn in between Mara's initial two turns, then this is an easy counter. And if not, there are issues. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's see it. Let's do it. All right, they got tenacity down on us. Okay, that B1 or B2 shook it. That's good. Okay, who do we want? Who do we want it on? Target lock on. I guess we'll do it on Mara for now. Great. Okay, so target the person with target lock to get more of the stuff. Okay, we have enough turn meter. Oh, do we have enough turn meter? We don't really. We kind of need to do the AoE right now, don't we? Well, I guess if we did this hit, I guess if we just do like a basic, we should get enough turn meter on Grievous to go before Mara Jade, I hope. And maybe especially if we do this. There we go. Alright, so we'll hit Mara here a bit. Okay, we'll bring Juhani into the fold of target locked individuals. I don't remember if Visas, I don't think she's gone yet, actually. Gosh, Mara Jade's gonna go next though if we're not careful. So we'll do that, and hopefully we can take Visas out pretty dang quick. Alright, I'm just looking at turn meter here, guys. So we're gonna do this, even though we don't need a dispel, so we get a bunch of turn meter. So we want to take out Visas before she can revive someone. There we go. Okay, now I guess let's start hitting Starkiller, because he can make a big ruckus here if we're not cautious. This can still go really south. Oh, I clicked on the wrong character. I wanted to heal someone else. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so we're actually at, well, yeah, so we want B1 to go next. We want B1 to get a turn, though, because we want to heal Nute just a little bit here to get a banner back, if we can. Alright. Excellent. Alright, so we got through it. And now we've got a lot of teams that we've just got to kind of run through, because most of the teams, I think there's a Maul team that we gotta figure out, but otherwise we can kind of wend our way through a lot of these. So Iden Troopers against Mon Mothma. I mean, I think the trickiest part about this is Biggs can really make a big fuss, because he's gonna get immediately a bonus turn. And, well, he gets a bonus turn if we do damage to him, rather. So we managed to stun him with the initial shot, and then with Death Trooper I was able to just take him out permanently, so they can't even resummon him. And I mean, this is a really easy match, but Biggs can actually make you time out sometimes in the right circumstances. Now, the relics on here are a little bit too low for that to happen, really, and that's no shade on JoJo. I mean, I'm not used to out-relicking my opponents, but you know, it's a lot easier if you have enough relics to be able to do something like this. And so that's what we're doing here, obviously. Now, we're using Imperial Troopers against this Maul team because there's no Beskar Mando, and there's no his Moff Gideon is slower than mine, so we can kind of reduce all the turn meters and everything. And over time, I mean, you just have to slowly take these guys out. But there's no turn meter mechanics here that really help him get going unless it's Moff Gideon, and his Moff Gideon was slower than mine, especially because I'm getting plus 20 speed on my Moff Gideon, and he's just getting his stock speed. So, like, he couldn't, his Moff Gideon actually just couldn't be faster than mine. Oh, look at that, we almost killed Maul there, just not quite. Maybe a little bit better modding on Dark Trooper would have just one-shot him, but alright, we got him out of there. And now this Darth Revan team does need a little attention, of course, because full bastard Darth Revan teams just need attention. It's an important aspect of this world, guys. The world we live in. We got our contract super quick, kill off Darth Revan, and then I mean, once you have your bounty hunters clocked, guys, it's a wonderful thing to be able to use bounty hunters on this team. So now the question is, who do we kill first, Nest or Malak? And the idea for me was, well, I don't really think we're going to be able to kill Nest with just kicks and punches. Like, that's probably just not in the cards. So maybe we just disintegrate Nest and then try to kill Malak with kicks and punches. And really, I mean, there's not like a wrong answer here. Mostly we're stealthed, so she's not going to be able to hit us back anyways, which is nice. When she does, of course, she's going to have increasing damage, which is scary. But I decided to just kill Nest. And yeah, okay, we did the transition because now we spend literally half the battle again trying to kill Malak here. It's kind of crazy. Keep in mind that each stack of ferocity that he's got is minus 15% defense. So even when he's at 5, that's like minus what, 75 or 60%, something like that. No, it's 75. I should have trusted my instincts. Minus 75% defense. Anyways, we finally got it. It took a little bit, but we finally did. And then I did just randomly have Supreme Leader Kylo left available. I was like, I guess we'll solo something. I don't really know. Like, I didn't really want to use Supreme Leader Kylo against anything else here. Like, he was a good kind of backup, stopgap kind of thing, but I mean, sometimes you need all your Galactic Legends, and sometimes you're like, wow, I put 4 on defense, and I really didn't even need all of them. Anyways, so, alright, 68, good to go. Good to go, hooray, yay, hooray, let's see what are in ships. See what ships are, what's going on with ships, and we put Executor down. We'll talk about what happens in ships here in just a minute here. So, I actually changed my fleet defense up. Oh yeah, so you guys remember how I used Nest to solo those Ewoks. I was like, you know what? This never happens. There's a Phasma team here that I'm actually not afraid to use Nest to solo. Because there's no OG Kylo, there's not Crew, and even Fox. Fox can really put a damper on things, but there's no Fox. Like, this is like the ideal Nest team. To be able to, their team to be able to nest, so not too bad. We're just gonna take our time. We can't crit anyone who has advantage, I believe, which is, of course, like, you need to be able to crit things with Nest, but they just can't kill her either. So we're just kind of wending our way through their ranks. You know, there's no Omicron on First Order TIE Pilot, or maybe things would be a little bit different, but one way or another, I mean, they just don't do enough damage. Nest is like, yeah, you know what, this is pretty cush, pretty nice. This doesn't suck. And there's that. So, anyways, we get to fleets here. In a minute, we'll get to fleets. And Here's the thing, guys. So I did the math of it. I looked at his at two things. First off, my Executor was faster in every way. Like, all my pilots were faster than his, all of, you know, including Piet. And then also, like, in addition to that, my Rebels, my Biston, was just one speed faster than his Finalizer, or rather, one speed faster than his First Order Special Forces TIE pilot. So I put Rebels on defense, because if you can't beat it with Finalizer, and I suspected that he was going to put Executor with this lineup in, because he watched my stream from the last match, and he knew that this was it was a tough team for me to beat with Home 1. So I thought maybe he would put Executor down with this, and I was right. My suspicions proved correct. So I kept Executor down, and Jojo told me later, he was like, yeah, I'd rather have you'd have placed your Executor down rather than Home 1, which you guys will see why in just a minute. But anyways, we gotta kill their Executor, and I decided to just do a straight-up mirror match, which is something I have zero experience with. So we do the AoE, kill their IG-2000, and then my IG-2000 is like, hey, I'll die too, if you like. Like, I'm probably good with that, if you know, everyone's cool with it. I'll just, you know, we can both just trade IG-2000s and have a really stressful, crazy mirror match. So we get Houndstooth in. They decided to bring in their what's it called, Slave 1, and killed my Xanadu Blood. So we killed their Xanadu Blood. I mean, it's a whole mess, you know, blood for blood, right, folks? And yeah, we gotta get through this. Gotta get through Slave 1. So let's bring our own Slave 1 in. I don't like mirror matches. You know, I'm getting better and better at this particular mirror match, in fact, folks. So I'll do a guide on it at some point, but I shouldn't say this particular mirror match, because that's actually false. What I mean is on the the standard Executor mirror match. This one is just scary as hell. And if I hadn't had a faster Piet, if we had just been the same speed, there's no chance I would have risked this. But he only had a Relic 8 Piet, which meant I got guaranteed first turn, and that meant I could do the AoE on his IG-2000, and that meant that I'd have all the advantage. And indeed, our Executor and Death Star killed their Executor, and so want to make sure we're getting as many banners as we can here, of course. We got through squads pretty good. Alright, 68. Not the very best banners. We dropped about 5, but we got through it. And now, here's that new Negotiator versus Empire build that I've been doing lately. This works pretty well. I should do a video on that as well. Still working on the faction essentials. So we did the AoE, guys. Did the AoE from Negotiator and just melted that TIE bomber. Just crazy how fast it melted. And I mean, battle's already basically over. Like, his interceptor didn't even come in because we had killed so many things that the AI panicked and sent in shuttle instead. Like, that's the next level of dominance right there, guys. So, Raddus, of course, is a little bit strange here because it's we don't have a team that I like always use to counter it, and so I placed Malevolence on defense actually, and so really this Finalizer fleet was going to be the best option, and it's just scary because, well, because of the way that it is. Like, they've got a lot of things, like they make it so that you can't crit them a lot of times. They have crit avoid, and they have, you know, this tank is actually fairly good against what we're doing. I don't know, they do things and stuff, and it's scary. And then their Clone Sergeant came in, which was actually fairly good. You probably want the Resistance X-Wing to come in next. I don't know. Actually, I think that Clone Sergeant was actually fairly timely there, in fact. Poor old TIE Fighter, our Special Forces type pilot, is just dead, of course, DED dead. But that's okay. TIE Fighters are a dime a dozen, right? So, oh, there's Resistance X-Wing, good. Just in time for me to kill Plo, and we can dispel things. And I think I made the joke, like, what do you call a Resistance ship that doesn't have buffs? And the answer is dead. But of course we missed that shot, so it was a little less true than I'd been hoping for. Alright, so we got the full clear, and my opponent had already attacked, and in fact had, well, let's just go, guys. Let me show you guys what the final results are as soon as we can get this to move. Alright folks, so he couldn't clear my Jedi Master Luke, and there's actually a really good reason for that. It was because he used Sith Eternal with only one extra Sith. He had the Traya trio available here, and just didn't take it, and so he sent me a video, and at the very last second, Jedi Master Luke and company just roasted his Sith Eternal. So, he could have cleared this, but he called it hubris, and I mean, I don't think I would have used that word myself, but I think he would have, if he had just used his full squad of Sith, it would have worked a whole lot better. So, yeah, this unfortunate a little bit. He also failed to clear fleets, which I was very proud of because I had specifically scouted his fleets and tried to figure out what I should do to stop him. And in this case, my rebel fleet was just barely fast enough to be able to stop him, and he just didn't have any counters to it, which is great. You know, he put a lot of really good fleets down, well, his two best, and I didn't put Executor down, but between Chimera and Malevolence, and then Home 1 just being a really difficult fleet to be able to beat. I mean, I don't know what he used. Like, he probably tried to use the mirror, but it's a tricky one if you don't have a good rebel fleet, or at least as fast of a rebel fleet as your opponent. So, we got the kill there. Final results, he didn't clear 2 of my zones. I cleared all of his zones. Keep in mind, though, folks, he's got way less GP than me, about 1 million less. I mean, keep that in mind next time I'm facing someone with 1 million more, please. Whatever the results are, but he did have 1 million less, and so, I mean, this is always going to be a tricky fight for him. So, final thoughts. This is a fight that wasn't found in nature, because he's my patron, and he watches my stuff, he listens to my podcast, all of that stuff. He knows what kind of things I'm going to be doing and placing, and I didn't change things up that much, but I made sure I had to look at ships, because that's something a lot of people don't necessarily expect me to do, especially, and so I was like, you know what, let's do scout ships, let's make sure we make the right adjustments, and you know, that panned out, obviously. But then I'm also, because he's my patron, I'm gonna do different things that I normally do. He's gonna do things that he normally doesn't do, and so it's a match that isn't found in nature. It's a very strange thing. As a content creator, this happens quite a bit. It's like, well, okay, this person does this thing over and over again. They do it like 50 matches in a row. Maybe 50 is an exaggeration, but they'll do it something like 50 times in a row. And then they'll see they're facing Xaereth, and they'll be like, "Oh man, I don't want people to make fun of me when my video's on, you know, when I'm on a video." And so they'll change everything completely, and then it'll be just a totally different match, because I scouted them for what they normally do, and they go outside their comfort zone and change things entirely. So, I mean, this happens a lot, at least lot-ish, but, you know, that's life as a content creator. It's not even a complaint, it's just an interesting thing. It's like my GAC is just a little bit different than most people's. Second, fleet planning. Clearly, I'm proud of what I did on fleet, but I need to stop crowing about it. Finally, Datacrons, guys. They're scary. I just played my final match in this, and I will say, Datacrons, man, Datacrons are crazy. They really are. They change things so crazily, so nutsily. That's not a word, really, but it's nuts. It is crazy how much they impact things. So it's worth keeping in mind, folks, that this is the thing. Datacrons are going to impact things, and we have to either adapt or quit, I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not really complaining about them, but they are a significant factor, and we can't just brush them off. So one way or another, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you hugely to Dr. Jojo for making it a good match and for attacking before my attacks and everything. Good man. And one last time, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Oh yeah, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, guys. Hit sub, etc. Please, take care, everyone.